If you struggle with confidence today, it may not be just because you lack skills. It may be because of the old emotional experiences from your childhood that are still silently influencing your behavior. And the surprising part is, most people don't even realize this. You might think confidence comes only from experience, knowledge, or personality, but in many cases, confidence is shaped much earlier in life, through small emotional experiences that your mind quietly stored and carried into an adulthood. And today, those same patterns show up in meetings, decisions, communication, self-doubt, right? So in today's video, we will understand how childhood experiences shape confidence and how you can start changing this pattern step by step. So if you're new to this channel, this is Kelsang NLP Coach, and I help working professionals understand their emotional patterns, thinking habits, inner beliefs, so that they feel more confident, calm, and clear in their day-to-day life. You see, most people think they lack confidence, but in reality, their mind is simply following an old emotional patterns that were formed years ago. Let's make this very, very simple, okay? Imagine you're in a meeting. You have an idea. You know it makes sense, you want to share it, but at the last moment, something stops you from inside. A small voice inside says, what if I say something wrong? What if people judge me? What if my idea is not so good enough, right? And you stay quiet. And the meeting ends. And later someone shares a similar idea and gets appreciated. And then you sit there thinking, I should have spoken. Now that creates frustration, self-doubt, and slowly a belief starts forming, saying, maybe I am not confident, right? But here's the deeper truth. This hesitation is usually not created in that meeting. It is often connected to an old emotional learning from much earlier in life. When we were children, right? When you're children, our mind is constantly learning from our experiences. We observe reactions, we absorb emotions, we store meanings, right? Even the small situations can create a deep emotional impressions. For example, a child speaks in class and gets laughed at. A child makes mistakes and gets scolded harshly. A child shares an opinion and gets ignored. Or a child is constantly compared with others. Or could be a child is appreciated only when performing perfectly. You see, now these may look like a small things, everyday situations, but for a child's mind, they carry a lot of emotional meaning. Speaking may feel unsafe, making mistakes may feel risky, expressing ideas may feel uncomfortable, right? And slowly the mind creates protective patterns. Then it says, stay quiet, avoid mistakes, don't take risks, don't attract attention. And these patterns are not weakness, they are the protection, right, mechanism. The mind is trying to keep the person emotionally safe. Now the child grows up, becomes an adult, gets education, builds skills, gain experience. But those emotional patterns remain quietly in the background, right? So in adult life, when a person enters a meeting, presentations, leadership roles, or difficult conversations, the mind reacts based on old emotional memory, not because of the current capability. And this is why many capable professionals still struggle with confidence. Not because they do not have skill, right? Not because they don't know how to do it, right? But because their mind is still trying to protect them from emotional discomfort. And this understanding is very powerful, because once you understand this, you stop blaming yourself. You stop saying, I'm not confident. Instead, you start understanding, my mind learned this pattern for protection. And once you see it this way, change becomes easier. And here's something important to remember. Confidence is not a personality trait. Confidence is a state. It appears when your mind feels safe. It reduces when your mind feels threatened. So confidence is not something missing in you. It is something your mind creates based on emotional safety, right? When safety increases, confidence increases. When fear reduces, confidence grows naturally. Now let me share a real coaching insight, okay? I was working with one of the professional who was very, very capable and responsible in her role, right? She was performing well, but she always avoided speaking in group discussions. She believed that she was not confident. Whenever there was a meeting, she would stay quiet. And when we explored her experiences, something interesting came up. During her school days, whenever she answered questions, teacher would strongly point out mistakes. Sometimes classmates laughed. So her mind slowly learned that speaking leads to embarrassment. And years later, the same emotional response was still active in meetings. And once she understood this, something changed. She stopped judging herself. She started taking small steps, speaking one sentence in meetings, sharing one small idea, asking one small question, and slowly her confidence improved, right? And that's the beauty of knowing, understanding your patterns. Now you might be wondering, what can I do to start improving my confidence in my day-to-day life? So let's keep it simple. First, start noticing where the hesitation appears. Whether it's meeting, presentation, communication, decision-making, just observe it without any judgment. Second, notice the thought that appears in those moments. What if I make a mistake? What if people judge me? What if I fail? Because these thoughts are usually old emotional patterns and not the present reality. Third, gently remind yourself, this is a new situation. I am not that child anymore. I have knowledge, I have experience, and I can handle this step by step. And this creates emotional reassurance. And fourth is take small actions. Speak once, share one idea, express one opinion, right? Confidence grows through small, safe experiences, not through forcing yourself, through small, consistent action, right? And slowly your mind updates its emotional response and confidence becomes natural. So here is one important insight I want you to remember. Confidence grows in environments where emotional safety exists. When you feel safe to express, safe to make mistakes, safe to learn, safe to grow, that is where real confidence develops. And this is something we explore more deeply in the upcoming workshop. So if you are watching this video from anywhere in this world, if you also feel that this is something that you really want to work on, and you can check the link in the description below for the upcoming workshop. So click on the link and register for the workshop, and I will see you inside. And if you found this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe so that you don't miss out any of this practical insight that I share on the weekly basis. And before I close, just want you to reflect on one simple question. Where do you feel the most hesitation in your life right now? Speaking in meetings, taking leadership roles, sharing your ideas, handling feedback, or making decisions. Let me know in the comments below, or just observe it, notice it, because awareness is the first step. And remember, confidence is not missing in you. It's something that you can build. So take care of yourself and keep learning, continue to implement whatever we've been discussing, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.